Hi guys, Kealel here again, and today I'm going to be tearing apart my Jungle Green N64 controller, and I figured I'd let you tag along. For this, it's pretty simple to do. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver, and I have a little set too just because I like getting these ones out with a tiny little screwdriver rather than a big one. And there's 3 here, 1 there, and 2 inside. And then, once you get all those out, that just removes. Tap it upside down to get the last 2 screws out. And if you have a magnetic tiny screwdriver, you don't even need to do that. It just comes out with it. And to clean it, all you do is take out the 2 buttons. You have to unsnap the Z button to push out this little plug right here. Helps you get a flat blade in there. Then the board just carefully pulls up and out of the way. That's the board and the wire. You just take these out. They're all the same. Just go around the posts, and then the buttons come free. But I'm not doing that, so I'm going to be putting this back in. Don't know why I'm struggling so much with that. There we go. And it's just press fit, and it's held in together with the board. Next I'm going to take out the joystick, and it's just a Phillips blade. I use the small one so you don't strip these ones out. Before I dive into the joystick, I want to point out, this is what happens when you're not careful putting it back together. The previous owner took this apart and kind of snapped the edge of the controller lining off. And he over tightened the screws too, so you can tell I had to glue those back on. I just used super glue. But these 2 posts were actually ripped off. So it was pried open and jiggled around. But I fixed it, so all that's left is a little bit of scarring. For the joystick, all you do to take it apart, take out that screw, pop off these clips right here, and then the top just pops off. And I like holding down the front as I pop off the rear. Don't pry too hard, it's old plastic so it will break. And you can see inside here, I have a steel bowl to protect it from the common issue of plastic against plastic causing a lot of dust and removing the bowl so joystick is wiggly. However, these gears I later learned also stretch out so they get a little bit wider, which also contributes to the wiggly joystick. So I'm going to try and see if I can figure out how to fix those. And I've heard if you get a heat gun and you just press it together, then it might solve the issue and you can kind of reform it. So I'm going to do that in a later video, and hopefully it works out well. Alright, so I decided I should probably show you how to clean these, or how I like to anyways. So I got my other N64 Jungle Green controller, and took out all the screws. I'm going to take it apart, and I'll show you what I like to do. Then That's the most fun part, just dumping it all out. So I move the board too. Just kind of get myself some room. So I'll start with the buttons. Just like I did with the console, I like to use a Clorox wipe. Let's do the bumper buttons first. Just go around the edge, because that's where all the gunk builds up, right where it meets the controller. And I like to give these a good wipe down, just because they collect dirt. For the Z button, you just push it through. When it's through, you can walk it back, and it just pops out. Next is the fun part, which is the faces. And there's a lip that runs all the way along that collects a lot of dirt. So I like to start off at a good part to remember. Just slowly run along it, pushing your fingernail into the crevice. Be mindful of these tabs, because if you put too much force, you rip it the wrong way, they will break off and then your controller won't fit properly anymore. Alright, so that is all clean. And let's actually compare it, top versus top and bottom versus bottom of the old one. So these are the two tops. This is the nice one owner one that I bought that's never been taken apart. And you can see that there's no damage or anything over it anywhere, just a little bit of dirt that we cleaned off. This one is the one that's been passed over hands many times, joysticks been replaced a few times, and before I got it, they didn't really know how to put it together well, so they kind of just shoved it on, and there's snaps on this right there that they didn't line up properly, so it broke that off. And on the bottom, I believe, it actually broke the snap off of this one too. Oh no, it just left some marring right there. Broke off the snaps over here though. And then also on the other one, these snaps right here were also broken off, but over here looks fine. So right now, I'm actually going to reassemble the broken controller with the nice OEM stick. I'm going to interrupt myself real quick. With these buttons, don't worry about knowing which way it goes in if you don't remember, because they all have different types of tabs on the back, so you can only put them in one way. So this one goes right here. If I try to put it in here, it's not going to work. It just spins freely in place. But if I put it in place, it doesn't spin, it just locks itself into place. And same with these yellow ones, you can kind of look at the back and you can put it in, but if you don't know where it goes, you can just be like, and if it doesn't match up, it doesn't go in there. Like this one goes right there. And now it sinks in. You've got probably like 2 millimeters of space that is to the top. And you can just see where they go and make sure that they're in the right place. So these just push into place. That just pushes right in. Make sure it's lined up. And it clicks into place, so you'll know when it's in there. And this one clips into place. So you can kind of see there's a path where it goes straight up, crimps into place, goes under, over, under, and out. So that's how it goes. Hope you can see that all right. Kind of new at this filming thing. So we've got that into place. You want to just let it sit into place. You don't want to force it because that's how things get broken. Since it's broken, it's a little bit harder to see if it's lined up, but that is fine. So how we screw these in, screwdriver in, and I actually spin it backwards until it jumps a little bit, and then I screw it in, just to make sure I'm not cross-threading anything. That way your control lasts longer, and it doesn't get the white marks of being broken showing through the top if it's a translucent one. And I can show you what those marks look like right after I screw these in. So right here, if you can see, those are kind of white compared to these ones where they're just the same color as the controller itself. That's because I'm not sure if they took it out too harshly or put them in too harshly, but if you remove it and you're not careful, you just spin it so it breaks free. I do it slowly so that doesn't happen, but if you do it fast, it can break free from the controller and just spin in place. Or if you tighten it up too much and you keep on tightening it, they can snap free of the controller because it's just a small amount of plastic holding it on there. And so, like I said earlier, I fix those up with super glue, and I'm really careful about what I do myself. There we go. We took apart, cleaned, and put together a controller. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked my video. Please like, share, and subscribe for some more content.